Before we get started, I just want to put a little disclaimer out there. You're going to hear some exciting things today. And, you know, with everything exciting, there comes a disclaimer. So we're not saying that the products you're going to hear about today treats, mitigates, prevents, or cures. That's the first thing I want to be able to share with you guys today. But I will tell you that it's very, very exciting. And I want to introduce you to a friend of mine right now. It's somebody that I look up to, and him and his family, and I'm really excited. I just got off the phone with them. They're on right now, getting ready to join in with us. This gentleman you're about to meet, he's a family man. He's been married to his wife, Jill, for 30 years. They met at Florida State University. He has 2 children, Natalie, 17, Gabrielle, 14. He's been in the fitness industry for 30 years. He's developed wellness programs for Fortune 500 companies to help those companies reduce the cost of healthcare. Really, really exciting, really exciting. He's also developed nationally recognized program that reverses metabolic syndrome through his fitness and nutrition program, which attracted the Mayo Clinic. All right. Today he travels the world teaching this new paradigm in health called nutrigenomics, introducing NERF2 activation. So I want to right now introduce you to Gabe Pearson. Gabe, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Can you hear me okay?
Awesome. I can hear you perfectly. Absolutely.
Awesome. Well, I thank you so much for having me on today, Mike. I'm excited to share some incredible information with your flock, lack of a better word. We all have the same mindset, obviously, and that's understanding how important our health is. And I really, really value what you've accomplished, what you're doing. I've been doing it for 34 years. I've been on the prevention side of things. So getting companies to buy into my program, 10, 15, 20 years ago was very, very difficult. But because, I was able to quantify what I did by having the executive teams go through this 12-week program really changed what I'm doing today. So what I want to talk about today, Mike, is I know your teams, I know you're following. I know, they realize how important their health is. And there's absolutely something out there that they need to know about. And that's why you and I are so excited to share this with them. And before I help them to understand, what nutrigenomics is, what NERF2 activation is, I think it would be best to really kind of dummy it down, and excuse that term, to help them to understand how and why we age on a cellular level, and how and why we get diseases. And a lot of people just doesn't understand that, and when they start to understand the process that of how we were created, the hairs on the back of their neck starts to stand on end. And the first thing that I want to share with everybody is everyone get a visual of this on what's about ready to come out of my mouth. Think about the first 20 years of life. Get a snapshot of what you look like when you're 20, and then get a snapshot of what you look like when you turn 40, if you're 40. Look at that aging difference from 20 to 40 as opposed to when we were born to 20. What I want everyone to understand is the first 20 years of life, all right, we don't age. We predominantly grow. All right. And the reason why we're not aging is because we have an overabundance of good guys. All right. I'm going to keep this real simple. Good guys versus bad guys today. All right. And basically the first 20 years of life, the good guys are winning the war against the bad guys. All right. But here's what happens. The aging process really starts to pick up when we turn 20. Those good guys, Mike, they start to malfunction. They start to misfire. Every decade that we age, unfortunately, the good guys are heading south, while the bad guys are heading north. And when you have a disparity between the two, that is called, the buzzword today is called oxidative stress. Now, I'm 57 years old, so if there's some baby boomers and above on this webinar, you'll have heard the term free radical damage. So free radical damage and oxidative stress is the exact same thing. So what I want everyone to understand is, our only line of defense, our only weapon, that we have had in our arsenal, so to speak, to try to slow down the rate of aging and the susceptibility to disease, have been direct antioxidants. And all of you know what they are. They're foods, they're nutrients. Most people that I talk to don't understand what the definition of a direct antioxidant is. And it's a very simple explanation. It comes from the external source. You have to put it into the body. So let's say, for example, Mike, when you woke up this morning, you had your 1,000 milligrams of vitamin C, a great example of a direct antioxidant. I had some blueberries and strawberries, all right? Another great example of a direct antioxidant. And let's say, for example, my wife, she had some pomegranate juice, all right? So all three of those are great examples. And what I am not saying, listen to me very carefully, everyone, I'm not saying we don't need them in our diet. We need them in our diet from a vitamin mineral standpoint. But what I'm getting ready to share with all of you today is something that is monumentally more important, and that's slowing down the rate of aging on a cellular level and the susceptibility to disease. And this is precisely what I mean. Here's the benefit that we get when our body absorbs that direct antioxidant. It releases a good guy. That good guy has one function, only one job, and that is to seek out and to destroy a bad guy. But because Mike swallowed the vitamin C, I ate the blueberries and strawberries, and my wife drank the pomegranate juice. In other words, it came from an external source. It didn't come from inside the cell. That good guy literally will find the bad guy, it binds to it, and then they're both destroyed. So think of it like this. It's used up. It's one and done. So I want everyone to understand direct antioxidants. If you look on every single bottle, all right, if you're buying some vitamin C, vitamin E, whatever, the tagline states, fight free radicals. I want everyone to understand that statement is insignificant, because what I want you to understand, our bodies were created as little free radical factories, all right? Our bodies make hundreds of millions of these bad guys at any given moment. So help me to understand what one's going to do. Think of it like this. The building that you're in right now, the building's your body, all right? And the building's on fire. The fire is free radical damage, or the new buzzword in the wellness space, oxidative stress. And then Mike hurries to your building with a Dixie cup full of water to try to put it out. Hate to tell you, the building's coming down. We've known this science for over 30 years. We cannot eat, drink, or swallow enough direct antioxidants to offset the amount of free radicals our body makes in a day. And by the way, our bodies make 300 septillion free radicals in a day. That's 3 times the power of 10, 23 times. So hopefully all of you understand, direct antioxidants cannot reduce free radical damage or oxidative stress. Now, what Mike and I found is something that really, really excites us. This is actually a new paradigm in health. And you're going to be hearing about these terms, nutrigenomics. Nutra is food. Genomics is gene expression. And here's the definition that was made by the man who created it. Nutrigenomics is how dietary components interact with the genome, your DNA, to regulate gene expression. So folks, what I'm talking about it turns down the bad genes while it turns up your good genes, okay? And we're introducing this new technology called NRF2 activation, NRF2. And that's what we want to talk about to all of you today. This product that we're going to be introducing to all of you is not a direct antioxidant. It's not a super antioxidant. And by the way, super antioxidants can only react with one good guy for every one bad guy. So basically, when you take this product, it activates a pathway in your body called NRF2. It's a big, long word that I won't get into today, but here's what I want you to do. Here's what I want you to understand. What the NRF2 pathway does. First and foremost, it's a protein messenger that is located in every single cell in your body. And all its main function is to make more good guys. They're called survival genes. Survival, folks, is a good word when it comes to your body, okay? Because as you age, you don't have enough of them anymore, keeping your body healthy. Always remember this, we are aging, we are diseasing. We are cancer-ring. You don't wake up at 40 and have cancer. So what I want all of you to understand is what this pathway does. It does what your body was meant to do for the first 20 years of life. And that's make more antioxidant enzymes, antifibrotic enzymes, and anti-inflammatory enzymes. Today, I'm just going to talk about antioxidant enzymes because I mentioned to you the definition of direct antioxidants. So I want you to listen carefully. The difference between a direct antioxidant and antioxidant enzymes would be equivalent to the discovering something in the 22nd century as opposed to 21st century. And here's precisely what I mean. And before I even get into that, I want to help you to understand how and why we age and how and why we get diseases, because most people don't understand this. What sustains us in life actually takes it away. What all of us are doing right now as you listen to me on this webinar, as you inhale and as you exhale, what I want you to understand is this precious air that we breathe is corrosive. We don't breathe in a hyperbaric chamber, breathing pure oxygen. So if you cut open an apple, what happens to the apple in 15 minutes? I mean, we all know it oxidizes, it turns brown. Well, that's precisely what 100 of mammals are doing, okay? So that's one way. So how many people do you know that breathe? Well, in my nutrition seminars for the last 30 years, I've been telling people if you want to live longer, you eat less food. Because if you take the bite of the apple, for example, what your cells can't burn off for energy releases toxic chemicals. Those toxic chemicals are bad guys, right? They're free radicals. So how many people do you know that eat? And then lastly, I'm going to say this because I'm in Florida, and even though that we're talking to people all over this country, but precisely Mike is in Canada, even though the temperature that it is in Canada right now, if he walks outside, I know the storm that he's going through right now, he probably doesn't even see the sun, but soon he walks outside, the UV rays of the sun hits the retina of his eye, hits his skin, that's free radical damage. So those are three significant ways of how and why we age on a cellular level and how and why we get diseases. Now, what makes this product so incredible, and the science says this, that it reduces that process, that free radical damage, all right, or oxidative stress by 40% in 30 days. I'm going to say that again because it's the first product in the history has been able to make this claim. Reduces oxidative stress or free radical damage by 40% in 30 days. So what happens is when you take this product, it activates the NRF2 pathway, it works inside the cell, and then your body starts to make survival genes. Now, we're only going to be talking about antioxidant enzymes today. So if Some of you who are nutritionally well educated, I'll use the enzyme glutathione. Glutathione is your master antioxidant immune regulator. Very, very important to our bodies, right? So what happens is when that good guy that was created by the man upstairs, okay, binds to the bad guy, this is why we don't age for the first 20 years of life. Only the bad guy dies. Our own enzymes, they work like a catalyst. They promote the reaction of getting rid of. So one of our own antioxidant enzymes annihilates up to 1 million bad guys per second, every second, 24 hours a day for 11 straight days. So when I found out about this product, the hair in the back of my neck stood up. And I needed to validate this because when I saw an ABC primetime news piece on this product, it got my attention. Because the 34 years that I've been in the fitness space, I've never seen a television investigating reporting program with the credibility of ABC News ever do a positive spin on a dietary product. All right. So what I did, I just finished working with the Mayo Clinic about their wellness program. I used those guys as my resource. And I asked them one question because I've never endorsed a product. I go, if you're going to put your name on a product, where would you go to validate it? And not one of them sent me to the University of Google to get my information. What I've learned through those guys, that's where you get misinformation because of all the bloggers out there. Think of it like this. This is real simple. If your doctor, if he or she is trying to figure out what's wrong with you internally, you think they're going to Google it? No. The doctors at the Mayo Clinic sent me to the National Institutes of Health. That's our Library of Science. And they basically just said this: type in the name of your product in the search bar, and if you get a hit, you're onto something. That was 8 years ago, folks. Today, there are 23 peer-reviewed published studies on the product. And the operative word is product, not an ingredient that's in the product. And if you've never heard the term peer-reviewed studies, it's the most scrutinized way to get something completely validated by experts in their field of study. And if one of those experts disagrees with the science, it doesn't make it to that journal. We have 23 of them. And today there are 12 patents. Now there's more than just one product. So here's what I'm trying to help everyone understand. In the next 3 to 5 years, every household in this country is going to know what nutrigenomics is, oxidative stress, NRF2 activation. Unfortunately, it's not coming from us. And basically what Mike and I want to do, this is the beginning, this is the start. We want to create a movement, and we want to educate people that we love and care for. We want to educate the world that there's actually something out there that you need to put into your body because of the validation behind our products. So what I want all of you to understand, this is a new paradigm in health. Now, what's going to happen is the pharmaceutical world is what's going to create the awareness. People are going to be able to find out what nutrigenomics, oxidative stress, NRF2 activation, biohacking, I'm going to get into biohacking in a little bit, by the pharmaceutical world. They are working diligently, feverishly, coming up with synthetic versions of NRF2 activation. And I know there's not one of us on this one of us on this webinar today would rather put a drug in their system compared to something that's all natural. Okay. So what I want everyone to understand is this. This is what I learned from the Mayo Clinic. My mother is from Morocco. So I was fortunate to be able to be brought up, her using the phytonutrient or the spice turmeric or curcumin, right? I've been telling people for 34 years, if you don't have turmeric in your kitchen cabinet, you might as well put one foot in the grave because of the anti-inflammatory properties that are unequivocally, side by side with that product, right? So here's what's in the product, folks. All natural, all plants. It's plant-based. Green tea extract. I can talk to you for hours and hours and hours about green tea. Most of you know the benefits. Milk thistle extract. If you've never heard of milk thistle, it detoxifies the liver. It actually adds the good enzymes in the liver. Turmeric extract, anti-inflammatory. 2 Ayurvedics that I wasn't familiar with. Ashwagandha extract, which is great for mental clarity and focus, adrenal stress. And Bacopa extract, which is good for, memory, brain issues, mental clarity, focus, things like that. Now, all of us can go to a spice store and buy each of those 5 ingredients. And if we did, and we took them individually, it would work just like vitamin C. It would kill one, good. It would activate one good guy and then kill one bad guy, and they're both destroyed. This is how we got the patents, because what I couldn't get through my mind 8 years ago was, who does this doctor think he is that can patent turmeric? To me, he didn't invent turmeric. To me, it was like, he's trying to patent broccoli. He didn't invent it. So it was the Mayo Clinic that sat me down, and we went to this journal. It was the Free Radical Biology Medicine, a very powerful journal. And they helped me to understand it was the synergy. Now, listen to me very carefully, everyone. It was the synergy of all 5 ingredients at low dosages. These are 1 serving and below. And it was the synergy that changes, the chemistry, that increases what's known as gene expression. Remember I said at the very beginning about nutrigenomics, turning down the bad genes, turning up the good genes? That's exactly what this does. So it's 1,800% more powerful than taking turmeric by itself or green tea by itself. There are no drug-on-drug interactions. You can have a grandmother that's taking 10 different medications, right? She can take it because it's 5 natural plants that we've been using for thousands and thousands of years. So there's a new paradigm in health called nutrigenomics. It's getting your own body to do its own work. Well, let me tell you what's going on in the pharmaceutical world. There's a company called Biogen, huge pharmaceutical company. When they were in the clinical trials, they came to Mike and my company, and they wanted to test their $400 million drug against our $40 a month all-natural Nerf2 activator. Now, we are publicly traded, folks, and all of you can look this study up the minute this webinar is over with. And the study was done by the pharmaceutical company, all right, who made the drug. And by the way, today, that drug is an MS drug. It's called Tecfidera, and it costs $60,000 a year to take, over $5,000 a month. So this $400 million drug tested against our $40 a month product, basically what this pharmaceutical company quoted in the conclusion of that study is Protandim. They use the word Protandim, the name of the product, not an ingredient that's in the product, was a more potent Nerf2 inducer than, and there was 2 other drugs, and I'm not going to get into them because they're no longer around. They just killed too many people. So basically, just understand this. This is all of our beliefs that's on this webinar. You can't outdo God. All this product does is get your own genes and your own enzymes to do what they were meant to do for the first 20 years of life. And that's make more good guys. The more good guys we have, the more optimal health that we have. Now, this company is starting to move. You know, Mike and I are now working with a biohacking company, okay? Biohacking is where we use the science of nutrigenomics to upregulate gene expression. Remember what I said, turning down the bad genes while turning up the good genes. We are hacking it to make our bodies work better. Basically, it's like this. We're stacking the deck in our favor for optimum health. And the goal is to biohack the aging code to begin to extend life. And for those of you that are interested in what we are talking about, it's a new paradigm in health. And we have the privilege, and I use that word very carefully, privilege of pioneering. One of our latest studies was done by the National Institutes of Aging. Folks, they only study two things, you know, how to live longer and have a better quality of life. And it was funded by the National Institutes of Health. It was a 10-year study. And they took 5 all-natural products and 5 drugs. And the only product that was proven to extend life by 7% in male mice, first time it's ever happened in the history of trying to extend life, is this product. So what I want all of you to understand, today we can say that we know how to improve the quality of life by making more good guys. We are moving into the direction of improving quantity of life. So if you take 7% of male mice, that equates to 3 to 5 years of human life. So I don't want anyone walking away, oh, this is going to make me live 3 to 5 years longer and I can go eat Wendy's, McDonald's, and Burger King. What I want you to be understanding is what this product does now, what it's doing to your body. So imagine pulling on the reins by 40%. The FDA cannot prevent me or Mike saying this to all of you today, that this product reduces oxidative stress or free radical damage by 40% in 30 days. And we're extremely careful on what we're saying today. You heard Mike at the very beginning use that disclaimer. Not one sentence have you heard him or me say that this product treats, mitigates, prevents, or cures. All we're saying is this product reduces how and why you age on a cellular level and is a major contributing factor of how we get diseases. Now, when the Mayo Clinic validated this for me, here's what I did. Okay, I said, okay, not a big deal. I understood the significance of how detrimental oxidative stress is to our body. So I went online to trying to find a product that reduces oxidative stress. And there wasn't any. Today, there isn't any. That's all natural. All right. Plants. All right. We're talking about Nutra. Nutra is food. Genomics is gene expression. Now, for the people out there that have the same mindset that Mike and I have do, your mind might be thinking, you mean to tell me that there's no competition? Well, that's the reason why Mike and I are partnered with this biohacking company, right? There's no competition. So for me, think of it like this, folks. Imagine where you work, especially for those who own their own business. What if there's no competition? Is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? That's what Mike and I have. Now, on top of no competition, what if ABC News comes knocking on your door and says, hey, Mike, I've been hearing nothing but great things about your business, your online business. We would like to do a positive spin on it. Do you think it would help Mike build his business? Folks, that's what we have. So we think that this is the right, what's the word I'm looking for? The right subset of individuals. You've got to understand how important your health is. You've got to want to be able to help people. You've got you've got to be able, to understand the significance of what we're talking about now. I mean, this is a whole new paradigm, and we're first. So from an opportunity standpoint, folks, we want you to jump on this bandwagon because, again, we want to create this movement, and we want to help. We want every single person on this planet taking this little yellow pill, right? We want to be responsible for this movement, and we want you to jump on board. So what a better way through the advent of the internet. Here I am in Jacksonville Beach, Florida. Mike is in a different country. He's in Canada. We're talking to people all over. Now, this is a global company now. They're in 10 different markets. And the timing of this could not be better for all of you. So we thought this would be the perfect tool to start getting the word out. So I'm hoping some of you understand, the significance of why you need to be on this product. And by the way, you'll end up saving money each month because there's a lot of products that you're probably taking right now that you're not going to need. I can unequivocally tell you this. Now, listen to me very carefully. Taking antioxidants are now a thing of the past because we found a way for your body to start making them. Understand this, making them is a better tool. It's more efficient. And more importantly, folks, it's safer. People will start to take an abundance of vitamin C when they start to feel like they're coming down with a cold, for example. Most people don't understand if they take too much, it becomes a pro-oxidant. In other words, you're making more free radicals. You're doing more harm. Most people don't know that. So we want to create a movement to educate people that we love and care for, to educate people that have the same mindset, the same beliefs that that we have, that all of you have, right? And we're all going to beat to that same drum and make a difference, make the world a better place. We want to connect and make an impact. That's what we want to do. And we need your help to do that. So for those of you who just want to take the product, you can just reach out to Mike. He can send you a link. And for those of you who want to do both, who obviously wants to take the product, but maybe want to get their product for free and jump on this business with us, and then we'll plug you into these webinars and we'll soon be able to take over the world, okay? So that's Mike's vision. That's my vision. It's very simple. More importantly, we'd like to do some trainings to be able to help you to understand and articulate what I just said to all of you today. And I want to make this statement. I'm nothing special. I've got an 8-year head start on all of you. So everything that came out of my mouth tonight, or I'm sorry, this morning, I learned after I became a partner with this publicly traded company. Think about that for a second. So don't think that I knew all this information. I'm just passionate about your health. I'm passionate about getting people healthy and not having to worry about, the impact that's going on with your organs on drugs, wreaking havoc, having all these, adverse side effects. Folks, what the most advanced cancer research is doing is what this company has been doing already for 8 years, getting your own body to do its own work, what your own genes and your own enzymes were meant to do, all right? And that's just make more of them. In the end, who has the most good guys wins. So hopefully that makes a difference. Hopefully I didn't spend too much time on Mike on your webinar. So I'm going to give it back to you. And if you want to ask me some questions, or we can just kind of go from there, you let me know.
Absolutely, Gabe. Well, thank you so much. And I'll tell you what, you clarified a lot of things. Something I teach inside of a very large group of mine is that our bodies are a self-healing mechanism, but sometimes we need to have something extra to be able to help it heal and help it move forward. And this is absolutely exciting, so exciting. I got a couple of questions. I was just kind of listening, and taking some observation of what other people have asked me, some questions I even had myself. How important, I guess we've kind of discussed that everybody needs this, right? Everybody can benefit from this, which is super awesome. Whether you're looking to earn income or to whatever, everybody needs this, which is super cool. But what about for the person like myself who's healthy? I mean, I'm plant-based, I'm healthy, I can run, many miles in a day. I sleep adequate amounts. I've got great memory. Everything's going well for me. I take the pill, a little yellow pill. I'm using it for a month. It's providing me everything I need, but I really don't feel anything. What would you say to a person like that? I feel nothing, say, after 1 month of taking it.
Well, what a great question. First and foremost, put your hands together, Mike, and thank the good Lord, because you're doing okay internally. Okay. What I tell everybody is you can't feel prevention, right? Unequivocally, if you are breathing oxygen, you are aging. And if you are aging, you are diseasing. That is a given. Okay. So what I want everyone to understand is this: what Protandem does, diet and exercise cannot do. So you're right, Mike. Every single person needs this product because we are aging, we're diseasing, we're cancering. And what I've learned from the most prolific, prevention specialists in the world is that the longer that you are on a all natural product, the more benefits that you will get. And if we have some scientific nerds out there, like I am, you'll read the studies and you'll understand that the second study, the third study is all about, it takes 120 days, 4 months, folks, for this product to be able to upregulate your survival genes. So the science says unequivocally it reduces oxidative stress by 40% in 30 days, right? But to get the rocket boosters to come on, the added kick to make more glutathione, superoxide dismutase, catalase, all these precious enzymes that we need, you have to be on the product for 120 days. So what I tell everyone is, what I've learned in 8 years is the older that someone is, or the more unhealthier someone is, the more dramatic the testimonies, all right? Because older people obviously are going to have less good guys protecting them. So their oxidative stress levels are a lot bigger than someone who's in their 30s or 40s, right? People that are unhealthy, they've got astronomical amounts of oxidative stress. So when you start to understand what this product does, this is a product that I have yet to forget to take in 8 years because of what we unequivocally know it's going to do. All right. And anecdotally, Mike, I can talk about, sugars, my A1C, lipids, this is metabolic syndrome symptoms. And my body is the healthiest it's been. And this is what I want everyone to understand. And this might be able to help you out. I'm 57 years old. So if you took my blood and we look at my blood under a microscope, and then we go find a 20-year-old who's not taken this product yet, all right, just basically hasn't even started to age yet, right? And we compare the slides, you can't tell who the 20-year-old is. So here's the $64,000 question. What does that mean when a 57-year-old has the amount of good guys in his body as a 20-year-old? Well, sleeping better, aches and pains. Anecdotally, I can tell you all kinds of great things, but I'm a white paper person. I need the studies. So today there are 38 universities and journals, and I'm talking about, the American Heart Association, the Free Radical Biology. These are powerful journals, Mike. Harvard, Ohio State, LSU. They're spending millions and millions of their own dollars on diseases that they specialize in on this $40 a month all natural dietary product. It's just incredible. So hopefully that helps everybody out there. When you take the product, we pray that you don't feel anything. It doesn't mean it's not working. And here's a question that someone asked me yesterday. Well, what if I'm on for those 4 months, I get those enzymes where they need to be, and then I quit taking it? I just asked that person, are you still breathing? Are you still eating? Are you out in the sun? Unfortunately, it takes 2 weeks for your oxidative stress levels to go where it was before you took the product. So this is something that we're all going to take for the rest of our lives until they come up with something that was better. And let me just help you to understand the enormity of what Mike and I are sharing with all of you today. For those of you that are interested, he's going to send you a link to be able to watch an ABC primetime news piece. And you're going to learn about this world-renowned scientist. His name is Dr. Joe McCord. When he was a 23-year-old graduate student at Duke University, this is back in 1969, he discovered an enzyme in our body, SOD, superoxide dismutase. So basically, he proved to the medical world that bad guys do indeed exist in our body. So prior to 1969, we thought free radicals were only in the ecosystem. So he's in this group of incredible inventors and scientists like Madame Pierre Curie, Alexander Graham Bell, Henry Ford, Orville Wright, Dr. Joe McCord. He's the only living recipient of what was called the Elliott Crescent Award. Today it's called the Ben Franklin Award. So what I want all of you to understand, I was lucky enough to bring this man to Jacksonville, Florida, and I was going to integrate this product into the culture of those corporations that I was developing wellness programs for. And I had him all day long. And I said this to him. I go, Dr. McCord, with all the plants in the world, all the phytonutrients in the world, how did you come up with those 5? And folks, this is going to be a funny statement, but this is a truth. He smelled like mothballs. The guy's not a sales guy. And this is what came out of his mouth. He was 70 something years old then. He goes, Gabe, it was a God thing. He goes, it was meant to be. He goes, it's like finding one needle in 3 haystacks. I'm not sure if I can do it again. And what he's talking about is the synergy of those 5 ingredients that increases gene expression 18-fold, that activates this NRF2 pathway. Now, since then, we'll talk about this later because it's just too much information, but there's another pathway that we just found to activate. So folks, understand this. In the next 10 years, nobody's taking supplements anymore. Everyone's taking activated products, and that's what this is. So there's a NRF1 pathway that hits the mitochondria. It makes more ATP. And we all know as you age, you have less and less energy. That's because you have less and less mitochondria. So that might be part 2 of this study. I know that was a long version of that question that you asked, but I thought that was some pretty important information for everybody to know.
Absolutely. And you know what? It brings me to a viewer had a question, and a person asked me 3 days ago, and once when I first began with the company and beginning with you, Gabe, is they asked, well, what's the secret ingredients? Because we know what the main ingredients are, and that really turns us on and excites us to herbs, especially for people that are real conscious about, staying with plant eating, that sort of thing. But what about the secret ingredients? What's behind the little yellow pill? What keeps it together? And what is that exactly? Can you elaborate on that?
Sure. Well, there's, you can act, because we're publicly traded, Mike, people can actually look up and see the amount of milligrams that's in each of the 5 products. But the pill is put together with a little bit more than that. It's like the Coca-Cola recipe. It's tucked away into, a safe somewhere so nobody can get. And by the way, folks, these are 20-year patents that we have on these products. And someone just asked me the other day, well, what happens when 20 years is up? Well, there's already a patent underneath it. to keep that patent going. Okay. So I think what Mike's getting at is a question that I asked. I have a heavy emphasis in a lot of background in nutrition. I mean, that was my life for 34 years. And the first question I asked was, is it CGMP, Certified Good Manufacturing Practice, which it is, folks. And if you don't know what that means, that's the highest standard in this country that we have. And by the way, our product exceed that standard. It means just making that product identically every single time. So that's something on my list. It's a deal breaker if it's not CGMP. Okay. And then I said, well, Dr. McCord, in the same day, why a pill? Because I'm talking about absorption, right? And I know a lot of you are probably talking about that. And what he did, he took a pill out of his pocket and he put it into a glass of water. And probably about 14 to 16 minutes later, he took his finger and he just swirled it around and it was completely dissolved. And he drank it. So, Mike, if some of your clientele are people who've had gastric bypass surgery, for example, and absorption's very, very difficult for them, just simply have them put it in a glass of water. Now, what Mike's talking about is how the pill is pressed together. That was something that I asked about in addition to Certified Good Manufacturing Practice. And you can't even measure the fillers. So it's irrelevant what's in it. You can take it to a lab, you can take it anywhere, and they're not going to be able to find anything because there's not enough of it. And here's the proof. Just take a pill when you get it in the mail and just break it in half with your finger. All right. It's just pressed enough together to stay it together. So that means there's not a lot of fillers. Now go to your kitchen cabinet and pull out a Tylenol and go try to break that. It doesn't even digest in the bottom of your gut. Okay. So I think that's what you were talking about. Am I correct, Mike?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Gabe. That actually completely explains it, So I just absolutely love that this goes along with what I believe in, what you believe in, Gabe, and that's just people helping people. And if you're listening right now, you've heard the excitement about it. You now understand the science behind it. You understand what it's all about. And of course, if you have more questions, please reach out to me. I'm there for you to help you, to guide you. And obviously, there's an opportunity side. And some of you say, well, why the opportunity? How come the opportunity? I thought it was all about education. Well, when I wake up in the morning and I go to the mailbox, I have bills to pay just as maybe you do. Or aside from the bills, if they're paid off, maybe I want to go on a vacation or I want to put my kids to university. I need a source of income. And, I give away a lot of my time every single day, helping people, giving meal plans out, coaching people. This is one of the ways that I earn income. So you might be watching right now or listening right now and maybe later or live, and you might be saying, well, I could use a little extra income. How much time is involved? Well, how much time do you want to invest into yourself? It's interesting enough. Gabe says that he would never forget to take the little yellow pill. I'm just like him. I will never forget to take the little yellow pill because it's exciting, because of what it's doing for me. There's so many different testimonials out there and reviews and stuff. It's absolutely incredible. But it goes down to the business side of things. If you're interested, how much time are you willing to invest in yourself? I find myself investing a lot into myself by talking about this day in and day out because of what it's doing for me and so many other people. You might only have an hour a week extra. That's enough. You might have 4 hours a day extra. That's enough. It depends on what you want to do and how quickly you want to move along with it. You might be looking for full-time income, maybe just a little bit of income just to be able to pay a couple of extra bills. Maybe you want to upgrade your Cablevision box to have more cable TV. And I don't know, we don't actually have cable in our house. We don't watch TV. But when we did, it was a couple $100 per month. It's expensive in Canada. Maybe you want just enough to be able to do that, or upgrade your vehicle and your payment might be a couple $100 a month. That's up to you. I can help you, guide you, and steer you into the right direction. So I just want to take a moment. review everything that's going on here. I'm looking at different platforms. We're streaming different places. We have 671 live viewers between all 5 social media sites, but I can only get your questions if you're watching this through Facebook right now, because the other platforms don't give me an opportunity to engage with you. And so with that said, you're going to go to Facebook later on today. If you're not watching on there right now, you're going to see something saying plant-based lifer, and search that, because Facebook is a search engine on its own. Type in plant-based lifer. You'll see the green logo. Come jump on in, and you can connect with me that way as well. And you'll have the ability to engage with me on future live broadcasts that we do. In the meantime, Angelica, sounds like what I need to enhance my healthy lifestyle to be even healthier. Absolutely. Reach out and connect with me. I'll help get you started. Karen, very interested. Again, reach out, connect with me. I'll help you get you started. And for anybody else that might be listening, I'm sorry if you had any other questions. I'm trying to think of some as well, but it was so exciting to hear the goodness about this product and what it does for you. I can't help but be excited. I just want to share with you, that we have an opportunity to get something that was not available to us even, 15 or 20 years ago. We have that now. So that's why I went for it, and that's why I'm excited. So Gabe, thank you for taking the time with me. Thank you, all you viewers, for taking the time tuning in today. I know it's a work day for some of you that have the job out there. And some of you that I know are on the job right now, thank you for not getting caught and still tuning in. I recognize some of you guys, and I know you should be working, but you took the time out to watch us. That is incredible. You guys are awesome. So you know how to reach me. Throw me an inbox today, and I will get back to you. If you're looking to learn more about the actual product itself, just say, Mike, I'm interested, in your subject line. I get a few hundred messages a day. This way I could distinguish your message from the rest. And if you're looking for the opportunity side, you say, hey, Mike, this is an opportunity that I'd be interested in because it's a product worth promoting. It's a product I would consume myself. Then just type in opportunity. You don't even have to say anything else. Just type in opportunity. I will see that message come about. Somebody just actually sent me one, opportunity. You're quick on the draw, Martin, and I will get back to you immediately. And thank you so much, Justine, Tommy, Mike, I'm very interested. Same thing, just reach out to me and I will help you today. Gabe, thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedule and doing this live with me. It means a lot to me. I appreciate you.
Well, thank you so much. There's so much more to communicate with everyone. I mean, we just kind of hit the anti-aging side of things today. I mean, we have the energy side, we have the skincare side, we have weight management side, and we have the canine side. So I'm hoping everybody will stay tuned for what we are about to communicate in the future to help everyone understand the enormity of what we're talking about today.
Absolutely, Gabe. And I think what we're trying to say, guys, is if you're listening today, ladies and gentlemen, there's more to come. So thanks for taking that time, Gabe, and the audience, and we'll talk to you all again real soon.